Your pain doesn't have to control your life anymore. What if I told you that the most powerful thing you can do right now is to decide that your future is worth more than the hurt you're holding on to? We all face struggles, and it's easy to let the past weigh us down. But today you have a choice. You can either stay stuck in the pain, or you can decide to move forward and build a life that truly matters. It's not about forgetting what you've been through. It's about deciding to let go of what's holding you back. This is your opportunity to break free and create a future that excites you, that pushes you to grow and become the person you've always known you could be. Stay with me as we dive into how making this one decision can change everything for you. Number 1, face the truth and stop hiding behind excuses. You've been dragging the same pain around for too long. You've been telling yourself stories that make you feel safe, but keep you stuck. Maybe it was something they did. Maybe it was something you lost. Maybe it was a chance you didn't take. A decision you regret, or a failure that still sits in your chest like a weight. Whatever it is, it's time to face the truth. It's time to stop hiding behind the same old excuses. Because if you don't, this becomes your identity. And that's not who you really are. You're not broken. You're just afraid. You're not finished. You've just been circling the same starting point, waiting for something to change. But nothing changes until you do. Nothing changes until you decide you've had enough of lying to yourself. The pain you've buried, the stories you've told, the reasons you give for staying where you are, they're not protecting you. They're holding you back. And if you don't call them out for what they are, they'll shape your whole life. You keep saying you're not ready, that you need more time, that people wouldn't understand, that it's not the right moment. But the truth is, you've been ready. You just haven't had the courage to face what's inside. You've convinced yourself that facing the truth is too painful, that it'll break you, but hiding from it is breaking you far more slowly, in pieces so small you barely notice. And one day you wake up and realize your whole life has been built around avoiding that one thing you didn't want to face. I've seen people cling to excuses for years. I've seen them point fingers, shift blame, explain, defend, rationalize, all to avoid doing the one thing that would actually set them free, being honest with themselves. When you finally look in the mirror and say, "This is where I am and it's on me," that's the moment things start to shift. That's when the weight begins to lift. Because now you're in control again. You're not waiting for apologies. You're not begging for chances. You're not blaming your past. You're taking back the power you gave away. Most people don't want to admit the truth because it means giving up the comfort of excuses. Excuses feel safe. They give you something to hold on to. They protect your ego, but they also steal your potential. You can't grow while protecting your pride. You can't rise while holding on to pain. You can't move forward while staring at the past. Growth demands truth, and truth demands courage. The first step isn't action. It's awareness. It's looking at your situation and saying, "This isn't what I want. This isn't who I want to be." And then asking the harder question, what part did I play in creating this? That's not weakness. That's strength. That's what responsibility looks like. And that's where freedom begins. If someone hurt you, face it. If you made a mistake, admit it. If you've been avoiding something, stop running. If you feel lost, say it out loud. Stop pretending to be fine just to look strong. Stop hiding behind smiles and distractions and empty goals. Stop telling yourself, "I'll deal with it later." Later is just a word you use to delay healing. And healing doesn't start until you face what's real. You're not going to feel ready. You're not going to feel confident. You're not going to feel strong, but you don't need to feel any of that. You just need to get honest. Honesty is where the rebuilding starts. And from there, you can make changes that last. But as long as you hide behind excuses, nothing changes. Excuses will dress up your pain and make it look like a plan. They'll tell you that staying in this job, this relationship, this routine, it's safer, it's easier, it's what you deserve. But deep down, you know better. You know you've settled, you know you've been stalling, you know you've been carrying baggage that isn't yours to carry anymore, and it's eating away at you. Quietly, face the truth. Not to punish yourself, but to set yourself free. You can't grow from what you're unwilling to see. If your days feel dull, if your heart feels tired, if your mind feels noisy, chances are you've been avoiding something that needs your attention. The truth doesn't destroy you. Hiding from it does. You don't need more time. You need more honesty. You don't need another distraction. You need to sit with what's real. That pain you've been avoiding, it's trying to teach you something. That failure you can't stop thinking about, it's showing you what matters to you. That fear that keeps you frozen, it's pointing to the life you haven't dared to live. Everything you're avoiding is a part of your breakthrough, but you've got to stop running. You want peace? Face the truth. You want clarity? Face the truth. You want strength? Face the truth. Not just the convenient parts, all of it. The ugly parts, the scary parts, the parts that hurt. Because the moment you do, you take your power back. You're no longer a victim of your circumstances. You're the architect of your next chapter. There's something powerful about looking yourself in the eye and saying, "This is on me," but it doesn't end here. That's not weakness. That's ownership. That's what self-respect sounds like. That's what a turning point feels like. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be honest. You don't have to fix everything at once. You just have to stop lying to yourself. That's how you begin again. You see, people think the truth is their enemy, but the truth is your guide. It shows you what needs work. It points to what's missing. It reveals what you've ignored. And once you have the truth in front of you, now you can move. Now you can decide. Now you can grow. But hiding behind excuses just builds a wall between who you are and who you could be. I've met people with incredible talent who never did anything with it because they were too afraid to face the fact that they were wasting their lives. I've met people in relationships they should have left years ago, clinging to hope and rewriting stories just to avoid the truth. I've seen people stuck in jobs they hate because they're scared to admit they want something more. And all of them had one thing in common. They were protecting their pain instead of dealing with it. You don't have to live like that. You can choose to face it now. You can choose to drop the excuses. You can choose to stop pretending. It doesn't matter how long you've been stuck. It doesn't matter how many times you've failed. What matters is what you do now, because now is the only thing you can control. So take a moment and be honest with yourself. No one else is watching. This is between you and you. What have you been avoiding? What truth have you been afraid to say out loud? What pain are you still carrying? What excuses have you been using to keep yourself from changing? Whatever it is, it's time to face it. Not because it's easy, but because your life is worth more than your pain. Your future is worth more than your past. And you are worth more than your excuses. So stop hiding. Stop running. Stop explaining. Look your truth in the face and say, "I'm done living like this." That's the first real step. That's the moment everything starts to shift. And from there you can start rebuilding. Stronger, wiser, clearer. You don't need anyone's permission to heal. You don't need anyone to agree with your choices. You don't need approval to move forward. You just need to face the truth and choose yourself again. Choose your peace. Choose your growth. Choose the version of you that's been waiting to come alive. It's time to get over it, not by ignoring it, not by pretending it didn't hurt, but by telling yourself, "This doesn't define me anymore." You're not here to live a life built on excuses. You're here to become everything you were meant to be. And that starts the moment you decide to stop hiding. So stand up, take a deep breath, speak the truth to yourself, even if your voice shakes. Because on the other side of that truth is your freedom, and no one can take that from you. Not now. Not ever. Number 2. Let go of blame and take full responsibility now. You cannot change your life until you stop blaming everyone else for the way it turned out. That's the hard truth. That's the moment everything starts to shift. As long as you keep pointing fingers, you'll stay stuck in the same story, repeating the same cycle, feeling the same pain. You can't grow while carrying the weight of blame, and you definitely can't win when you're always waiting for someone else to make things right. It's time to take your power back. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Maybe someone hurt you. Maybe someone left. Maybe someone made a decision that shook your whole world. That's real. That pain is real. I'm not here to tell you it didn't happen. I'm not here to dismiss it. But I am here to tell you that if you keep carrying that blame, if you keep handing over control of your life to someone who's no longer in it, you'll never be free. Responsibility is not about guilt. It's not about shame. It's not about saying everything that went wrong was your fault. It's about saying you are the only one who can decide what happens next. It's about refusing to stay powerless. It's about standing up in the middle of your pain and saying, I don't like how this started, but I get to decide how it ends. I've seen too many people waste years of their lives replaying moments they can't change. They hold on to old arguments, past betrayals, missed chances, and they use those memories like chains. Every time they try to rise, they pull themselves back down with the same old stories. If my parents were different, if my boss respected me, if they hadn't lied, if I had more support, and on, all it does is delay the life they could have built. Let me tell you something simple but powerful. Blame is not strength, it's survival. It's the mind's way of protecting your ego. It gives you someone or something to aim the pain at, but it also keeps you from facing yourself. And as long as you avoid that, you'll never grow into who you could be. There's a moment in every person's life when they have to stop retelling the same story and start rewriting it. That moment is not about how loud you scream or how hard you work. It's about how honest you're willing to be. Can you look at your life and say, this is where I am, and I'm the only one who can take me somewhere better? If your answer is yes, then you've already begun the process of transformation, because responsibility is where transformation lives. It's not in blame. It's not in anger. It's not in waiting for someone else to fix the damage. It's in the quiet, powerful decision to take ownership of your life, no matter what has happened before. The truth is, the world doesn't owe you anything. No one is coming to make it fair. No one is going to rewind time and give you a different childhood, or a second chance at that opportunity you missed, or a better start. But you don't need that. What you need is already inside you. The ability to rise above your past and take command of your future. That starts by letting go of blame. Not because they deserve forgiveness. Not because it wasn't wrong. But because you deserve peace. Because you deserve to build a life that doesn't revolve around your wounds. Because you deserve the freedom that comes from taking full ownership of your next step. Do you want to keep hurting? Or do you want to start healing? That's the real question. And healing always starts with responsibility. When you take it, you begin to see possibilities instead of problems. You start to create instead of complain. You begin to move forward instead of staying stuck. I've talked to people who've been through hell. Abandonment, rejection, financial collapse, deep betrayal. And I've seen two kinds of responses. One group clings to the pain and uses it as a reason to stay down. The other group says, I didn't deserve this, but I still get to decide what happens next. And that group always moves faster, grows stronger, and lives fuller. Not because they were lucky, but because they refuse to be powerless. When you stop blaming, you stop waiting. You stop waiting for an apology. You stop waiting for understanding. You stop waiting for someone to notice your pain and fix it. You stop hoping that the people who hurt you will suddenly come back and make it right. And instead, you step into action. You start building. You start changing. You start growing. And it's not easy. Responsibility can feel like a heavy weight at first, because it forces you to look at all the ways you've avoided it, all the chances you didn't take, all the habits you've ignored, all the comfort you've chosen over change. It shows you the truth about where you've been. And that truth can hurt, but it also gives you something far more valuable. It gives you control. When you stop blaming, you stop leaking energy. You stop pouring your focus into things you can't change. And you redirect that focus into things you can. Your health, your mindset, your relationships, your skills, your purpose. These are things you can control. These are things you can shape, but not if you're still locked in the past. You have to break that pattern. You have to say, I'm done pointing fingers. I'm done waiting for closure. I'm done needing everyone to understand what I went through. I'm ready to move forward. even if no one else changes. Because that's what leadership looks like. That's what self-respect looks like. It's not loud. It's not flashy. It's a quiet, consistent commitment to being the kind of person who shows up. No matter what happened before. You do that enough days in a row, and you start to become unstoppable. This is the moment to step up. Not because everything's perfect. Not because you have all the answers. But because you're tired of being stuck in a cycle that's going nowhere. You're tired of living in reaction. You're tired of replaying pain. And you're finally ready to build something better. It's not about fixing everything overnight. It's about making a choice. A real non-negotiable choice. That from this point forward, you will not be defined by blame. You will not give your power away. You will not stay small just because someone else made you feel that way once. You will rise. You will take the pieces of your past and use them to build a future with meaning. You will take responsibility not because it's easy, but because it's yours. No one else can do it for you. No one else can walk your path. This is your life, your journey, your responsibility. And maybe you feel overwhelmed. Maybe you don't know where to start. That's okay. Start with the decision. The decision to stop blaming. The decision to start owning. The decision to show up for yourself. Not once, but every day. That decision is everything. Because once you take full responsibility, you unlock your full potential. You stop chasing validation. You stop needing rescue. You stop holding grudges. And you start building something that's real. Something that's yours. You start to lead yourself. You become the kind of person who doesn't need to explain or justify or defend. You just live with purpose, with direction, with strength. And when you do that, everything starts to change. Slowly at first, then all at once. Your energy returns. Your mind clears. Your confidence grows. Not because the world got easier, but because you got stronger. That's the life you want. That's the person you're meant to be. Not perfect, not pain-free, but powerful. Because you took responsibility for your life and never gave it away again. So stop waiting for someone to change. Stop hoping the past will rewrite itself. Stop blaming anyone for where you are. And start asking the one question that truly matters. What am I going to do about it now? Because that's the only question that ever changes anything. And the answer starts with you. Number 3. Accept what happened and stop replaying the past. You will never move forward if you keep dragging the past behind you. Every time you sit in silence and replay what went wrong, who hurt you, what you should have done, what they should have said, you're not just remembering, you're reliving. You're placing yourself back inside the moment that broke you. You're handing your peace over to something that no longer exists. And if you keep doing that, no matter how much time passes, you will never truly heal. It's not the past that's holding you back. It's your refusal to accept it. What happened, happened. You can fight it in your mind for the rest of your life, and it still won't change. You can rehearse the same conversation in your head 1,000 times, and the outcome will remain the same. You can wish you had acted differently, spoken sooner, walked away earlier, but none of it rewrites reality. There is no time machine. There is only now. And you can either waste that now by being stuck in what can't be undone, or you can claim it and use it to become something stronger than you were before. I've watched people destroy the best years of their life, not because of the pain they experienced, but because of the way they stayed trapped in it. They kept it alive by obsessing over it. They made it their identity. They found comfort in the familiarity of pain because it gave them a reason not to try again. It became easier to stay wounded than it was to do the hard work of releasing the past and walking forward without it. You see, the mind has a habit of replaying the painful moments louder than the peaceful ones. That's because pain demands your attention. It hits your nervous system, it triggers your emotions, it carves memories deep into your brain. But just because it's loud doesn't mean it deserves to stay in charge. You are not the same person who lived through that pain. You've already survived it. You've already endured the worst part. So why keep handing over your peace to a version of you that doesn't even exist anymore? Some people think accepting what happened means you approve of it. It doesn't. Acceptance doesn't mean you liked it, agreed with it, or wanted it. Acceptance means you stop fighting the reality that it happened. You stop arguing with the past. You stop wasting your present trying to edit yesterday. It means you finally stop hoping for a different version of the same story. And once you do that, a powerful shift happens. You free up your energy, you release yourself from the mental prison of reliving something that can't be changed. And now you have room to create a life that actually feels like yours. I know what it's like to lie awake at night and wish things had gone differently. I know what it's like to beat yourself up for not seeing it sooner, not acting faster, not saying what needed to be said. But all of that self-blame, all of that pain, it doesn't heal you. It holds you hostage. It ties your identity to the pain instead of the person you've become after surviving it. There's a reason people get addicted to the past. It gives them something predictable to hold on to. It creates a false sense of control. If I just keep thinking about it, maybe I'll finally understand why it happened. But that never works. Understanding doesn't always bring peace. And closure doesn't come from knowing why. It comes from deciding that you don't need to know anymore. It comes from the moment you say, even if I never get the answers, I still choose to let go. You can't build a future if your thoughts are constantly pulling you backward. You can't create new memories when your mind is still stuck in the old ones. Every day you replay the past is a day you give away your potential. It's a day you miss the chance to live fully, to connect deeply, to grow honestly. People walk around thinking time heals everything. It doesn't. Time passes. Healing is a decision, and acceptance is the first step. Without it, you're just dragging your old pain into every new chapter, wondering why nothing ever feels different. The job changes. The people change. The environment changes, but you stay the same because your heart is still locked in a room you haven't left. Sometimes what you need is not more time, but more truth. The truth that it's over. The truth that they're not coming back. The truth that the apology might never come. The truth that you did the best you could with what you knew at the time. The truth that you are not defined by the worst thing that happened to you. The truth that your past does not get to decide your worth, your potential, or your future. When you accept what happened, you stop being a victim of it. You stop letting it run your thoughts, your choices, your relationships. You stop looking at everything through the lens of old pain. And for the first time in a long time, you start seeing the world as it is, not as it hurt you. I'm not saying you won't remember. I'm saying you stop reliving. You stop giving your mind permission to replay scenes that only bring you suffering. You stop turning on the mental movie every time you feel uncertain, alone, or afraid. And instead, you start filling your thoughts with new vision, not past regret. You can either be loyal to your past, or you can be committed to your future. But you can't be both. If you want to rise, you have to stop reaching back. If you want to evolve, you have to stop grieving the version of life you thought you were supposed to have. That version doesn't exist anymore. It's time to build a new one from where you are with who you are right now. And maybe that scares you. Maybe you don't know who you are without the pain. Maybe you don't know how to live without the past running the show. That's okay. That's human. But don't let fear trick you into staying stuck. You are allowed to move on. You are allowed to release the story. You are allowed to stop carrying what broke you. You are allowed to choose peace over punishment. Some people will never understand what you had to forgive. Some people will never know how heavy your silence was. But you don't owe anyone an explanation for your healing. You don't have to make them understand. You just have to make sure you don't stay in the same mental place that caused you so much suffering. That's not weakness. That's power. That's wisdom. That's growth. When you accept what happened, you stop needing to edit the story. You stop needing a new ending. You stop needing the people involved to change. And you start realizing that the most important story is the one you write next. The one that comes after the pain. The one where you stand up not bitter but better. Not closed but clear. Not hardened but healed. And healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means remembering without hurting. It means looking back without falling apart. It means no longer needing to escape into the past to avoid facing the present. That's where real strength lives. In choosing peace, even when the pain gave you every reason to stay angry. You can't change what happened, but you can change what you do next. You can choose not to waste another year trying to make sense of it. You can choose to stop waiting for an apology that may never come. You can choose to stop torturing yourself with what ifs and if onlys. You can choose to stop identifying with the pain and start identifying with the person you've become since. And when you do, something powerful happens. You start attracting peace. You start seeing new opportunities. You start thinking clearer, feeling stronger, and acting more aligned with who you truly are. Not because the past disappeared, but because it no longer controls your mind. This is the moment to shift, to draw the line, to say, I've heard enough. I've thought about it enough. I've gone back there enough. It's time to move forward. It's time to grow. It's time to heal. You've survived enough. Now it's time to live. Not behind your pain, not beneath your memories, but beyond them. You deserve that. You've earned that. And the only thing standing in the way is the part of you still holding on to what can't be fixed. So put it down. Accept it. Release it. Walk forward. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Not because it makes sense, but because it gives you back your freedom. You're not who you used to be, and you don't need to keep living like you are. Accept what happened, and stop replaying the past. Your future is waiting. Number 4. Speak your pain out loud, then release it fast. You are carrying pain inside you that you've never said out loud, and that silence is slowly breaking you. Every time you act like you're okay when you're not, every time you smile through the ache, every time you swallow the tears and bury the truth just to keep going, you're building a wall between who you are and who you pretend to be. And behind that wall is a version of you that's suffocating, unseen, unheard, unhealed. The weight you feel every day isn't always from what happened, it's from everything you've kept buried. You've convinced yourself that if you just stay strong, it'll pass. That if you don't talk about it, maybe it won't matter. That staying silent makes you tougher. But the truth is, silence doesn't protect you. It poisons you. It stores everything you couldn't say. It holds every moment you needed to scream, but didn't. It captures every word you wanted to shout, but felt afraid to speak. And over time, that silence becomes your identity. You don't just carry pain, you become it. There's a reason the things you haven't said still wake you up in the middle of the night. There's a reason your chest tightens when you think of certain memories, because your body remembers what your voice never released. Pain that isn't expressed turns into stress. It mutates into anxiety. It disguises itself as anger. It slips into your relationships. It bleeds into your decisions. It lingers in your habits. It doesn't go away. It transforms, and not in ways that serve you. You don't need to suffer in silence. You don't need to pretend you're okay just to be accepted. You don't need to wear a mask just to be loved. Real strength is not in hiding your wounds, it's in having the courage to face them. The first step to healing is expression. You have to speak your pain. You have to give your emotions a voice. You have to stop apologizing for feeling deeply. This is not weakness. This is truth. This is where transformation begins. Say it out loud. I'm hurting. I'm angry. I feel lost. I feel forgotten. I don't know how to let go. Say it without judgment. Say it without shame. Say it because your healing is waiting for your honesty. The moment you name your pain, you take power away from it. You turn it from a silent weight into something real. Something you can finally confront. Too many people bottle everything inside and then wonder why they feel so disconnected. Why they feel so numb. Why no one understands them. But how can anyone truly understand you when you've never shared what you're really going through? Your silence builds distance, not safety. It builds barriers, not bridges. And sometimes it's not even about telling someone else. Sometimes it's just about finally telling yourself, saying the truth to the mirror, admitting what you've tried to bury, writing it down, screaming it into a pillow, crying it out with no filter. Because what you express, you release. What you name, you contain. What you suppress, controls you. You don't heal by pretending nothing hurt. You heal by allowing the truth to breathe. Even if it shakes your voice, even if it brings tears, even if it makes you feel exposed, that release is not weakness. It's strength in raw form. It's you choosing freedom over fear. It's you saying, I'm not going to keep carrying this alone. So many people are trapped in emotional prisons of their own silence. They go through life avoiding their truth, avoiding themselves, staying busy so they don't have to feel. But avoidance is not peace. Distraction is not healing. You can't outrun what's inside you. You have to face it. You have to speak it. And then let it go. Speak your pain and don't just say the surface version. Say the real version. Not I'm just tired, but I feel like I'm losing myself. Not it's been a rough week, but I've been carrying this for years, and it's tearing me apart. Get honest with yourself. Rip the mask off. The truth will sting, but silence is lethal. And when you've spoken your pain, release it. Don't rehearse it. Don't let it define you. Don't let it become your story. Let it be a chapter, not the title of your life. Let it be something you passed through, not something you live in. The point of releasing isn't to forget. It's to be free. It's to no longer carry what no longer serves you. Some people wait for the right moment, the perfect person, the safe space to finally open up. But let me tell you something. Your healing doesn't need permission. It doesn't need an audience. It needs honesty. Whether it's to a friend, a therapist, a journal, or just your own soul, speak it. Speak it now. Not later. Not someday. Now, because every moment you stay silent, the pain grows roots. It becomes part of your identity. And the more it grows, the harder it is to tell where the pain ends and you begin. You are not your trauma. You are not your heartbreak. You are not your mistakes. But to separate from them, you have to first express them. You might be scared that if you speak it, it will break you. But what if it frees you? What if it makes you lighter? What if it's the key to your peace? You've survived the experience, now survive the expression. Say it all, loudly, clearly, boldly. Say it so you no longer have to carry it in silence. And then breathe. Breathe like it's the first time you felt air in your lungs that wasn't poisoned by suppression. Breathe like someone who just took the chains off. Breathe like someone who's finally coming back to life. You weren't made to carry the world alone. You weren't meant to suffer quietly. You weren't built to break and just keep smiling. You were made to feel, to express, to heal. And healing is messy. Healing is loud. Healing is real. But it's worth it. Don't wait until the pain eats you from the inside out. Don't wait until it's too heavy to lift. Don't wait until you explode on people who never hurt you. Speak your pain now. Let it out. Own it. Then release it. You are not broken. You are healing. And healing starts when the silence ends. You've been quiet for too long. Now it's time to speak. Speak your pain out loud. Then let it go. And start living again. Because your peace is waiting. And so is your power. Number 5. Forgive the person even if they never apologize. Some people will hurt you deeply and walk away like nothing happened, and the apology you're waiting for may never come. And that's the hard truth. The kind that keeps you up at night. The kind that replays in your head while you're trying to move on with your life. Because in your mind, it still doesn't make sense. They lied. They betrayed. They left. They broke you in ways they'll never fully understand. And yet they act like you're the one who's supposed to just get over it. They continue on with their life like nothing happened while you carry the weight of the wound they never even acknowledged. And maybe you've been holding on to the hope that one day they'll realize what they did, that one day they'll say the words you needed to hear, that maybe if they finally took accountability, you could finally let go. But let me tell you something. Most people never say out loud, you don't need their apology to be free. Forgiveness isn't about giving someone a free pass. It's not about saying what they did was okay. It's not about pretending it didn't hurt. It's not about reconciling or allowing them back into your life. It's about you. It's about taking your power back from the pain. It's about choosing your peace over their presence. It's about deciding that you are no longer going to let the absence of their regret rob you of your future. You see, forgiveness is for the one who wakes up heavy, for the one who can't breathe when they hear that name, for the one who replays the past like a movie with no ending, For the one who has given too much mental real estate to someone who no longer even thinks about what they did. Forgiveness is your act of defiance against being controlled by what they never made right. You might think letting go is unfair, that if you release the anger, it means they win. But the truth is, holding on to anger doesn't punish them, it punishes you. They're not losing sleep. They're not carrying guilt. They're not the one stuck in a loop of emotional pain. You are. So ask yourself, how long will you keep drinking the poison they poured? There are people walking around broken, not because of what happened, but because of what they still hold. The grudge becomes the chain. The resentment becomes the prison. And every time they think about it, their mind tightens the grip. The past starts running their life. Their emotions stay locked in the moment of impact, never evolving, never healing. You can't change what happened, but you can decide that it doesn't get to keep happening inside you. It's time to let go. Not because they earned it, but because you deserve to live free. You deserve to live without the emotional weight of waiting. You deserve to smile without guilt, to feel light again, to think about the future without the shadow of old memories ruining it. You're not forgiving for them. You're forgiving so you can stop carrying what was never yours to hold. You're forgiving so you can move forward without dragging the emotional corpse of someone else's choices behind you. You're forgiving so that your energy isn't constantly hijacked by thoughts of someone who doesn't even value your healing. Some of the deepest pain comes from people who will never understand how much they hurt you, and that's why waiting for closure from them is a trap. If they were capable of giving you what you needed, they wouldn't have hurt you that way in the first place. You don't need their validation to validate your healing. You don't need their remorse to release the weight. It's okay to say, "You hurt me. You never said sorry, but I'm not going to live the rest of my life bitter because of it." It's okay to say, "I deserved better, but I refuse to let that moment define who I become." It's okay to stop expecting the past to give you anything new, because you're not the same person who went through that pain. You've grown, you've endured, you've evolved, and now you're choosing to rise above it. Forgiveness is a decision you make every single day, sometimes every single hour. It's not always a one-time moment. It's a commitment to release again and again until you're finally free. You might still feel the pain. You might still get angry. That doesn't mean you haven't forgiven. It means you're human. But with each release, with each act of grace toward yourself, the pain loosens its grip. Let them carry the weight of what they did. Let them answer to their own conscience. You don't need to be the jailer of someone else's guilt. You're not the judge. You're the survivor. And your future isn't found in bitterness. It's found in becoming someone stronger, wiser, more compassionate because of what you've been through. This is not about being naive. This is not about pretending you weren't wounded. It's about refusing to live your life stuck in a chapter that was written by someone who didn't see your worth. It's about refusing to give them any more time, space, or energy. It's about reclaiming your soul. People confuse forgiveness with weakness. But the truth is, only the strong can forgive. Only the strong can look at their pain and choose not to be defined by it. Only the strong can walk away from anger and embrace peace, even when the world says hold on to the hate. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It's refusing to be held hostage by a memory. And you may never get an apology, but you don't need it, because your healing isn't waiting for someone else's words. It's waiting for your decision. It's waiting for you to say, "I'm not carrying this anymore." It's waiting for you to say, "I deserve to live fully." It's waiting for you to say, "That pain may have happened, but it will not have the final word." So today, decide to forgive. Not because it's fair, not because it feels good, but because you're ready to stop hurting, because you're ready to take your life back, because you're ready to stop living in reaction to someone else's mistake. You can't control what they did, but you can control whether or not it continues to shape your life. There's so much life waiting for you outside the walls of resentment, so much freedom in no longer rehearsing the scene over and over in your mind, so much power in saying, "I release you. You don't own this space anymore. Let them go. Let the weight fall. Choose your peace. Choose your healing. Choose your freedom. Forgive, even if they never apologize. Because in the end, forgiveness isn't about them. It's about you finally deciding that your future matters more than your pain. Let go. And start again. Stronger. Number 6. Cut ties with anything that keeps you feeling stuck. If it drains your soul, clouds your clarity, or stunts your growth, it's time to cut it off. There comes a moment in your life when you have to stop trying to fix what keeps breaking you. You've tried, you've reasoned, you've waited for it to change. You've made excuses for why you stayed. But now, deep down, you know the truth. You are stuck because you're still holding on to what's already expired. You can't grow in the same space that's been keeping you small. You can't heal in the same environment that keeps reopening your wounds. And no matter how loyal you are, no matter how much history you have with it, if it keeps you doubting your worth, it doesn't deserve to stay in your life. This is your permission to walk away from the conversations that go nowhere, to distance yourself from people who pretend to care but secretly hope you never rise, to remove yourself from the routines that numb your spirit. You don't owe anyone an explanation for choosing peace over pressure, clarity over chaos, healing over history. Because staying stuck isn't about what's holding you. It's about what you refuse to release. And too many people waste years in situations that should have ended long ago. They stay out of guilt. They stay out of fear. They stay because they've confused comfort with connection. But the truth is, just because something is familiar doesn't mean it's healthy. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself, maybe it'll get better? How many times have you silenced your own needs just to keep the peace? How often have you ignored your intuition because you didn't want to seem like you were giving up? But the real giving up is giving up on yourself every time you stay where you know you don't belong. And let's be honest, it's hard. Cutting ties isn't easy, especially when your identity is wrapped around what you're trying to outgrow. But nothing changes until you do. No new chapter begins until you finally close the one that's been keeping you stuck in the same cycle. You've been waiting for a sign. This is it. Cutting ties isn't about being cold. It's about being clear. It's about deciding you've had enough of feeling half alive. It's about stepping into the life you were meant to live, not the one you settled for. Because you weren't born to survive in toxic patterns. You were made to thrive in spaces that ignite your potential. Let's go deeper. Who or what in your life drains you more than it builds you? Whose voice in your head keeps you doubting yourself? What environments have you outgrown but still tolerate out of obligation? The hard truth is that not everyone and everything can come with you to your next level. Some doors must be closed for new ones to open. Some weights must be dropped if you ever want to feel free. People will say you've changed. Let them. Growth will confuse those who benefited from your stuckness. When you evolve, some relationships will break. Not because you failed, but because you outgrew the version of yourself they were attached to. And that's not your burden to carry. Your job is to become who you're meant to be, not to keep shrinking, so others feel comfortable. Cutting ties means you finally honor yourself. It means you no longer tolerate what undermines your peace. It means you no longer wait for validation from people who don't see your value. You were not created to be stuck. You were created to rise, rebuild, and walk in alignment with your higher self. And yes, it's going to feel like grief. Because when you let go of something that was once meaningful, there's a void, there's uncertainty, there's fear. But don't confuse the pain of release with the pain of regret. One is temporary, the other is endless. You might feel alone for a while. You might second-guess your decision. That's normal, but the space you create when you let go is sacred. It's the space where new beginnings are born. It's the silence where your true voice starts to speak. It's the opening where real growth begins. And let me say this clearly, not everything that once served you will serve you forever. Some people were lessons. Some chapters were preparation. Some situations were mirrors to show you what still needed healing. Don't hate what you had to leave. Just be honest about what it became. You can't move forward while clinging to the past. You can't embrace your purpose while gripping your pain. It's time to clean house. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Anything that makes you feel like you're walking in circles is not your path. Anything that keeps you questioning your worth is not your truth. Anything that demands you betray yourself is not your home. When you release what no longer serves you, you realign with your power. When you walk away from what dims your light, you start to shine in ways you never imagined. When you say no more to what keeps you stagnant, you say yes to your next evolution. You were not put on this earth to play small, to stay safe, to repeat patterns that keep you in emotional quicksand. You are here to rise, to be bold, to choose truth over comfort, to listen to your inner voice, even when it tells you to leave behind what you once thought you couldn't live without. There's strength in starting over. There's wisdom in walking away. There's freedom in letting go. You can't soar with weights on your wings. You can't grow while holding hands with what holds you back. You can't be whole while surrounded by things that feed your wounds. So what do you need to cut ties with? A relationship that constantly drains you. A habit that numbs your potential. A mindset that whispers you're not enough. Whatever it is, it's time. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now, because your future is waiting. Your peace is waiting. Your next breakthrough is on the other side of release. You already know what you need to do. You already feel it deep in your gut. Stop ignoring your inner knowing. Stop justifying what breaks your spirit. You can't control everything, but you can control what you allow in your life. You can control what you say yes to. You can control what you walk away from. You can choose freedom over familiarity. Cut the cord. Let it fall away. And step boldly into the life that's been trying to reach you. You've waited long enough. Now it's your time. Number 7. Stand up today and start building a stronger you. The moment you decide to stand up, the world shifts. But the real power comes from what happens next. You are one decision away from stepping into a version of yourself that you've only dreamed of. But this isn't just about dreams anymore. It's about action. The hardest step you'll ever take is the first one. We all know that feeling. That moment when the weight of where you are seems heavier than the pull of where you want to go. But the truth is, nothing changes until you stand up and say, "Today I begin building a stronger me." And that day is now. It's not tomorrow. It's not next week. The opportunity is right here, right now. Every excuse you've ever used, the fear, the doubt, the "I'm not ready yet," is just the mind's way of keeping you stuck in what's familiar. But you're not here to stay stuck. You're here to break free from the cycle of waiting, the cycle of wishing, the cycle of thinking that someday will be the day when you finally start. The truth, someday doesn't exist. Today is all you have. And today is when you choose to move forward. You've been carrying around the weight of your potential for far too long. The talent, the vision, the strength, it's all in you. But it's buried underneath layers of fear, of hesitation, of waiting for the perfect moment that will never come unless you create it. You can't wait for someone else to tell you it's time. You need to tell yourself it's time. Now, think about where you are right now. How many days have you wasted waiting for the conditions to align perfectly? How many times have you looked at your goals and wondered, what if you just decided to take action today? What if you stopped thinking about the reasons why it might not work and started focusing on the reasons why it will? Standing up is the first step to taking control. And standing up doesn't mean just getting out of bed or physically rising from the couch. It means standing up for your future, for your dreams, and for your potential. It's about standing up to the limiting beliefs that have held you captive, standing up to the past that has tried to define you, and standing up to every reason you've ever told yourself as to why you can't move forward. Right now, you're faced with two options. You can continue to let the world tell you what you can't do. You can continue to be a prisoner to your own fears, the self-doubt that holds you back, the voice inside your head that says you're not enough. Or, and this is the choice that will change everything, you can stand up today and say, "I will no longer be the person who hesitates. I will no longer let fear define me. I will not let today slip away without taking one bold step toward the future I want." Understand this, it's never about being perfect. Perfection is an illusion that keeps you stuck in the cycle of inaction. No one ever built anything great by waiting for the stars to align. They built it by taking messy, imperfect, imperfectly beautiful action. So stop waiting for a sign. The sign is here. The moment is now. Standing up is a declaration. It's a decision to stop being a passenger in your own life. It's time to get out of the back seat, grab the wheel, and start driving toward the person you were meant to be. That person isn't somewhere down the road. That person exists in you right now. All you have to do is unlock them, and the first key to unlocking that future version of yourself is action. There's a powerful thing that happens when you decide to show up for yourself every single day. No matter how small the action may seem, when you make that choice to stand up and move, even when you don't feel ready, even when the world around you feels uncertain, you begin to reshape your identity. You stop being someone who dreams and start becoming someone who does. Every step you take toward becoming stronger, mentally and physically, compounds. Every minute you invest in yourself, every moment you choose to rise above your old habits and limitations, adds fuel to the fire of your transformation. It's not just about building a stronger body, it's about building a stronger mind, a stronger spirit, a stronger version of yourself that you've been waiting for. And the power is in the consistency. It's the decision to stand up every single day, even on the days you don't feel like it. It's the little choices that add up over time. The decisions to read, to train, to push through the discomfort, to let go of the excuses, and to take one more step, even when you feel like you've reached your limit. Here's the reality: there will never be a perfect time. There will never be a day when all the stars align, and everything is just right for you to make your move. So you have to make the move, imperfectly, messily, confidently, and without hesitation. Today you choose to be that person, the person who shows up for themselves, the person who doesn't let fear dictate their actions, the person who refuses to stay stuck. Imagine what your life could look like if you started taking action right now. Think about the version of you who steps out into the world with clarity, with purpose, and with unstoppable momentum. The world needs that version of you. Your goals, your dreams, your vision for the future need you to take this first step. But here's the thing: this isn't about some far-off dream. It's not just about who you could become one day. It's about who you're becoming right now. It's about the choices you make today, not tomorrow, not next year. The person you're becoming today is the one who will show up tomorrow and the next day and the next. So why wait? Why not start now? When you stand up today and choose to begin building a stronger you, you're making a commitment. You're committing to be better than you were yesterday. You're committing to taking the first step, even when you don't know how everything will unfold. You're committing to progress, no matter how small, every single day. And with that commitment, you start to see yourself in a new light, as someone who is capable, someone who doesn't quit, someone who's in control of their destiny. So today, stand up, do it for yourself. Do it for the life you know you deserve. Stand up and begin building a stronger you. One decision, one action, one moment at a time. Because in the end, it's not the perfect plan or the perfect circumstances that change your life. It's the willingness to show up, to keep going, and to never stop building, growing, and evolving into the person you were meant to be. This is your call to action. Stop waiting. The time is now. Get up, take that first step, and start building the life you've always known you were capable of. You've got this. Number 8. Choose peace over anger and move forward now. The moment you choose peace over anger is the moment you reclaim your life. You see, anger is not just a fleeting emotion. It's a destructive force that roots itself in your mind, controls your thoughts, and drains your energy. But peace is freedom. Peace is power. And choosing peace over anger doesn't mean weakness, it means strength. Right now you're facing a decision. You can hold on to the anger, the resentment, the frustration, or you can choose peace and move forward, liberated from the chains of bitterness. Every second you hold on to that anger is another second of your life wasted. Your peace, your serenity, your happiness, those things are waiting for you, but they can't come in if you're holding the door shut with anger. Anger comes when we feel wronged, misunderstood, or hurt. We want to scream, shout, retaliate, to make the other person feel the hurt we felt. It seems justifiable, even natural. But what does holding on to that anger do for you? It eats away at your time, clouds your judgment, and traps you in the past. It keeps you stuck, looking back at things that cannot be undone, thinking about things that should have been different. But here's the hard truth. None of that matters anymore. What matters is this moment. What matters is your next move. Will you let anger decide your next step, or will you choose peace, step into your strength, and move forward with clarity? The choice is yours, and it's a choice you make not just once, but every single day. It's a decision that defines the trajectory of your life. Think about the times when anger took over. Think about how it made you feel. Maybe it felt like justice, maybe it felt like you had a right to be angry, but did it actually serve you? Did it help you move forward? Or did it hold you back? Did it bring you peace? Or did it trap you in a cycle of frustration? Every time you let anger win, you lose a little bit of your power. But when you choose peace, you open the door to something greater, to healing, to growth, and to true freedom. The real strength lies in your ability to let go of anger. Letting go doesn't mean you're weak, or that you're accepting the wrongs that have been done to you. It means you're strong enough to realize that your peace is worth more than holding on to something that will only drain you. The moment you choose peace, you step out of the drama and into your own power. Imagine the freedom of walking through life, unburdened by anger. Imagine waking up every day with a sense of calm, knowing that the weight of past grievances doesn't own you anymore. You've freed yourself. You've decided that your peace is more important than being right, more important than holding on to grudges, more important than trying to make someone else feel the hurt they caused you. And in that freedom, you start to move forward. Anger is like a heavy anchor. It weighs you down, keeping you stuck in the same place, reliving old wounds and rehashing past arguments. But peace is like a powerful wind that pushes you forward, propelling you toward the future you want. When you choose peace, you choose to let go of the past, to stop letting old hurts control your life, to stop letting other people's actions dictate your emotions. And the moment you do that, you open yourself up to infinite possibilities. But let's be real. It's not always easy. It's not always easy to forgive someone who hurt you, to let go of the anger that feels so justified. But consider this. Every moment you hold on to anger is a moment you're giving your power away. You're letting someone else dictate how you feel, how you live, and how you see the world. And that's not the life you want, is it? You don't want to be at the mercy of someone else's actions, their words, or their mistakes. You want to be in control of your own life. And the only way to do that is to choose peace. Choosing peace doesn't mean you're excusing bad behavior. It doesn't mean you're forgetting what happened or letting the person who wronged you off the hook. It means you're taking back your power. It means you're choosing to stop letting that anger control you and start living your life on your terms. The only person who can change the way you feel is you. And when you choose peace, you take back that control. When you choose peace, you free yourself from the shackles of anger. You no longer let the past dictate your present. You no longer let the actions of others hold you hostage. You're not here to fight battles from yesterday. You're here to move forward. And peace is the key to unlocking that future. Every day you make choices. You make the choice to hold on to your anger, to let it fester, to let it keep you stuck in a cycle of bitterness and frustration. Or you make the choice to choose peace, to let go, to release the anger, to step into a space of serenity and power. And in that choice you find freedom. Anger will never solve anything. It won't change the past. It won't bring you justice. And it won't make you feel better. What it will do is weigh you down, rob you of your energy, and keep you trapped in a cycle of negativity. But peace will heal you. Peace will give you the strength to move forward, to let go of what's no longer serving you, and to step into the person you were always meant to be. If you've been holding on to anger for a long time, I understand how hard it is to let go. It's not easy, and it takes time. But the first step is simply making the decision that you're done. You're done letting anger rule your life. You're done allowing someone else's actions to control your emotions. You're done being a prisoner to the past. And when you make that decision, the process of healing begins. You'll start to feel lighter, freer, and more at peace with yourself and the world around you. It's time to let go of the weight of anger. It's time to stop being a victim of your own emotions. It's time to choose peace, to move forward, and to take control of your life. Every moment you spend holding on to anger is a moment you're wasting. Every moment you choose peace is a moment you're building a brighter future. So today, make the decision. Choose peace. Let go of the anger. Free yourself from the past. Move forward with strength, with clarity, and with a deep sense of inner peace. You deserve it. Your future deserves it. And the only thing standing between you and the life you want is this one simple decision to choose peace and move forward. Now, number 9. Break your silence and ask for the help needed. You've been silent for too long. You've been carrying the weight of your struggles, the burden of your dreams, all by yourself. But the truth is, asking for help isn't a sign of weakness. It's a powerful act of strength. You've been trapped in this idea that you have to handle everything alone, that asking for support somehow diminishes your worth. But that's a lie. The moment you break your silence and ask for the help you need, everything changes. You start opening doors that you didn't even know existed. You begin to move forward, not just with your own strength, but with the power of others who are ready to lift you up. It's time to stop pretending that you have it all figured out. It's time to stop hiding behind the walls you've built around yourself. Asking for help isn't a sign that you've failed. It's a sign that you're ready to grow. It's a sign that you understand that no one can achieve greatness alone. We are all part of something bigger. And the greatest people in history were not those who did it all by themselves. They were the ones who knew how to lean on others and use that strength to rise higher. For too long, you've convinced yourself that vulnerability means weakness. You've told yourself that if you need help, it means you're not enough. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Vulnerability is strength. It takes immense courage to open up, to ask for what you need, and to admit that you can't do it all alone. Think about the moments when you've been stuck. You've struggled, trying to figure things out, but still you've remained silent. You didn't want to burden anyone, or maybe you felt like no one would understand. But in holding on to that silence, you've only kept yourself trapped. Silence may feel safe, but it also isolates you. It holds you back from the very breakthroughs you're searching for. Breaking that silence, opening up to someone, asking for help, allowing yourself to be supported. That's where true growth happens. That's when the universe starts to conspire in your favor. It's the first step toward breaking free from the chains of self-doubt and isolation. Now let's be real. It's not easy. The fear of rejection, the fear of being judged, the fear of showing your vulnerability, these are all real, powerful fears. But let me ask you this. What's more painful? The fear of asking for help, or the regret of staying stuck and never moving forward? What's worse? Risking the discomfort of reaching out, or spending another day, another month, another year feeling frustrated and stagnant, all because you couldn't break your silence. The moment you ask for help, you change the dynamic of your situation. You stop feeling like a lone warrior battling the world, and you begin to see that there are others who have walked the path before you, others who can guide you, lift you, and help you see things from a different perspective. Help comes in many forms. Sometimes it's a mentor, sometimes it's a friend, sometimes it's a coach or a community, but none of that can happen until you let go of the pride, the fear, and the shame that's keeping you silent. Think about the times you've seen someone else ask for help. Did you think less of them? Did it make them weaker in your eyes? No. In fact, you probably admired their courage. You probably saw them as someone who was willing to grow, someone who understood that reaching out was a way of building themselves up. People who ask for help don't weaken themselves. They strengthen themselves by acknowledging that they can't do it all alone, and guess what? So can you. There's power in asking for help. There's magic in the vulnerability of saying, I need support. It's like giving permission for others to step in, to offer their expertise, to guide you, and to help you move forward faster than you could on your own. When you're willing to ask, you're inviting opportunities into your life. You're opening the door to new possibilities, new relationships, and new insights. It's the key to unlocking growth. You don't have to have all the answers, and you certainly don't have to do everything perfectly, but when you ask for help, You create a space for collaboration and learning. You stop trying to do it all yourself and start allowing others to contribute to your journey. This is where true transformation happens. When you open yourself up to the possibility of being supported and guided, and don't let the fear of what others might think stop you. The people who matter won't judge you for asking. They'll respect you for your honesty and courage. Those who care about you will want to help, and they'll be there for you in ways you never imagined. But you have to give them the chance to show up for you. It's easy to stay stuck in your head, caught up in the "I should be able to do this on my own" mentality. But that's a trap. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by doing everything on their own. They got there by finding mentors, by asking for guidance, and by learning from those who had been where they wanted to go. They understood that success isn't a solo journey, it's a collective effort, and the first step in that collective effort is breaking the silence and asking for help. So what are you waiting for? The longer you stay silent, the longer you keep yourself from the help that could propel you forward, the longer you hold on to your pride and fear, the longer you keep yourself in the dark, away from the light of growth and opportunity. But when you speak up, when you break that silence, you'll be amazed at how much lighter you feel. You'll realize that the world isn't against you. It's waiting for you to ask for help, to take that first step, and to show up as the person you are meant to be. Ask for the help you need. Let go of the fear. Let go of the shame. Let go of the silence. And step into a new chapter of your life, one where you don't have to do it all alone. You deserve to grow. You deserve to move forward. You deserve to thrive. And that all starts when you break your silence and ask for the help you need. Don't wait another second. Speak up, reach out, and let the world show you what's possible when you allow yourself to be supported. Number 10. Decide that your future matters more than your pain. Your pain is real. I know that feeling all too well, the weight, the hurt, the exhaustion from carrying everything on your own. It feels like it's just too much sometimes. Like you'll never be able to move past it. But listen to me carefully. Your future matters more than your pain. That's the truth. And the moment you decide that, everything will change. I want you to take a moment and think about your life. Think about the dreams you've had, the goals you've set, the person you've always known you could be. Now think about the pain you've been carrying, the setbacks, the failures, the heartbreak, the disappointments. It's been heavy, hasn't it? But here's the thing. Your pain is not your future. Your pain is just the past, trying to keep you stuck. And the moment you decide that your future is worth more than that pain, you begin to step into a new life. This is where true transformation begins. When you realize that your future is worth the sacrifice of letting go of the past. It's not easy. It never is. But this is where greatness is born. It's born from making that decision, deciding that the pain will not dictate your future. The moment you make that choice, you put yourself in the driver's seat of your life. You take control, and you start walking down the path you were always meant to walk. The truth is, we all have pain. We all have scars, burdens, and battles we fought. No one is exempt. But some people allow that pain to define them, to keep them stuck in a cycle of regret, fear, and self-doubt. They believe that because of what they've been through, they're doomed to stay where they are. But that's not true. You don't have to let your pain be the story that defines your future. You don't have to stay stuck. When you make the decision that your future matters more than your pain, you make a powerful shift in your mindset. You stop seeing your pain as an obstacle and start seeing it as the fuel that will propel you forward. Your struggles have made you stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before. And now you have the power to use that strength to build the future you've always wanted. Think about your dreams. Think about everything you've always wanted to achieve. Now think about what your life would look like if you let your pain hold you back. Think about staying in that same cycle, not moving forward because you're too afraid to leave the comfort of your pain. It's easier to stay where you are, to let the past dictate your choices. But what's the cost? The cost is your future. The cost is the person you were meant to become. I know that letting go of pain isn't simple. It's not a light switch you can just flip. But the decision to choose your future over your pain is the first step. The moment you decide that you deserve more than your circumstances, more than the hurt, more than the disappointment, That's when you begin to rise. Your future is waiting for you. It's calling you, but you can't hear it if you're still holding on to everything that's dragging you down. You can't move forward if you're constantly looking back. So, what's it going to be? Will you choose to stay where you are, stuck in the past, stuck in the pain, or will you make the courageous choice to let go and move forward? Think about the possibilities that await you. Imagine waking up every day with a sense of purpose, a sense of excitement, knowing that you are building the life you've always dreamed of. Imagine no longer feeling weighed down by your past, no longer allowing your pain to hold you back. That's what's possible when you decide that your future matters more. The reality is, you will never be able to change your past, but you have full control over your future. And the only thing standing between you and the life you deserve is the decision to stop letting your pain dictate your path. You might be thinking, but it hurts. How can I just forget everything I've been through? And I'm not asking you to forget. I'm asking you to release it, to stop carrying it as a burden, to stop letting it be the excuse for why you can't move forward. Pain is a part of life, but it doesn't have to be the focus of your life. Your future, the life you're building, is what you should focus on. You might feel like you're not ready yet. You might feel like you need more time to heal, more time to process the pain. And that's okay. Healing takes time, but that doesn't mean you have to stay stuck in the hurt. You can heal while you move forward. You can take steps toward your future while acknowledging the pain that has shaped you. It's not about ignoring the past. It's about choosing to not let it control your present or future. I want you to remember this. Your future is not a result of what you've been through. Your future is a result of what you decide today. What you decide right now. You can stay in the past, letting every hurt and disappointment hold you back. Or you can step into your future and say, I'm ready for something more. It's time to stop allowing your pain to steal your potential. It's time to stop believing that your past defines you. It's time to start believing that you are the architect of your future. And your future, the life you want, the dreams you've always had. It matters more than the pain you've endured. So make that decision today. Decide that your future matters more. Decide that you are ready to leave the pain behind and step into the life you've always dreamed of. You deserve it. Your future deserves it. And now it's time to make it happen. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you feel like you're fully healed. Don't wait until the pain is gone, because that day may never come. The key to moving forward is making the decision right now. Your future is calling you, and it's waiting for you to say, I choose you. I choose the life I'm meant to live. I choose my dreams. I choose my success. I choose to rise above the pain. Now go and make that choice, because when you decide that your future matters more than your pain, you begin to create a life that is unstoppable, and nothing, not even your past, will be able to stand in your way.